I will tell you that I am from Louisiana, and I got up at 4 o'clock this morning to get here because it's a 5-hour drive, but it's worth it to come to see Dr. T. About 50 years ago, 50 and a half, I was diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis. I was 14 years old. And so over the course of the years, I've seen a plethora of doctors, and they have tried every medication that came out on the market and that was new to medical research, and I've had all of them. All of them. You name it, I've had it. And I've had it for years. I had years of steroids and years of this and years of that, and methotrexate and everything else they gave you. 2 years ago, God led me to Dr. Trowbridge, and I am so thankful. It had been a very bad year. I'd had foot surgery and then got an infection and was in the hospital for a week with the infection from the foot surgery. And 2 days after they released me from having to go back to the doctor after the foot surgery, I got pushed down and fell and broke my hip, and so I had to have a hip replacement. That was after 2 knee replacements, and that was fine. I was walking around after that with no trouble. But then I got an infection from the hip replacement, and all these infections were due to all the toxic things they were giving me. And then I got all kinds of problems with bronchitis and had breathing treatments, and then I got a thrush infection, and then I said, hold it! I'm tired of listening to all these doctors that keep telling me I need more medication. And I read a book called The E Syndrome and Starting Doing the Diet, and I said, this works! I lost 20 pounds just after I read the book and started the diet, and I made the appointment and saw Dr. Trowbridge. That was 2 years ago. He started me on an alternative treatment that my rheumatologist says is not approved. But it happens to work. In 2 years, I can walk, I can do anything I want to. I don't have any morning stiffness. I have no pain. I take the supplements. I take everything. I also found out I've got heavy metal toxicity of lead and mercury, and I have had for years. That comes from growing up near oil company refineries near Chicago and all the other stuff we have in our environment. So he's treated me by chelation, and he's treated me with the medications and the vitamins and supplements, and I am so thankful because it has helped me do everything. And so I've been retired since I was 46 years old on disability, and now I'm 64. And I now have a part-time job teaching online, and I'm really thankful for that because I'm so thankful because the next half of my life is going to be so much better than the first half of my life, and I can't wait till I can work full-time so I can spend more time coming down to Humble and having more chelation therapy treatments because that's going to work. Everything else does, so why shouldn't I? I will tell you this. I went to my rheumatologist, and I told him, he comes in after the nurse assistant comes in, and he says, well, what do you need this time, you know? And he says, any pain? No. Any morning stiffness? No. Do you need any prescriptions? No. And he says, what are you taking? I give him my list. He says, just a minute. He comes back. He gives me prescriptions for the same things Dr. T has given me prescriptions, says, I'll see you in 6 months. I love it. I love to go to my doctors and tell them, you know what? I'm being healed. You do a good job. Thank you very much.